Okay, so let's get to know the calculator that the GED um, makes available for the GED math test. There's a lot of hidden stuff. But first things first, we got to look at all those buttons. That's a lot of buttons. And we don't want to get overwhelmed looking at all these buttons and go, man, I got to know what all this stuff is. I mean, you know, this is a lot. So if we go over this, you don't have to know those or those or those or those. There's a bunch. Even these we don't really even have to use. But we don't want. This is stuff we could type in. Probably not that question, because if that question came up, it would be a no calculator question. But in the meantime, this simplifies things an awful lot. So I misspelled fractions. One button's going to build a fraction, and take a second to think which one would build a fraction, or a fraction, which is a French fraction. There's one button that we especially use for geometry and circles, but that's it. That's the only time it's there, so it's only got one use. And then exponents and roots. What are those things? It's honestly super easy. 3 times 3 is 9. That is an exponent, because it would be 3 to the second power, because you repeat it twice. 3 times 3 equals 9. And if you asked 9, hey, what about 9? What number multiplied by itself gives you 9? And the answer would be 3. That's what that little button there is for. It's all there to do the work for you. So then there's regular calculator stuff. Well, first, here's the fractions. That button is the ND button. That's the numerator and denominator. And then this is pi. That's for circles. And we don't even have to use that button, actually. We could use 3.14. The directions and the question will always say use 3.14 for pi. Exponents and roots are these two buttons, actually, in these green things too. We'll get to the green things here in a second, but that's very specific what they do. And the rest of this is regular calculator stuff. This button moves the cursor around just like a video game pad. And this second button, if you hit the second button, it'll say second up here. And then like this button will go from making an exponent to building that little house. So anyway, there are a lot of very easy questions that are straightforward that once we learn what these buttons are, and actually, I'm going to cover these up. I'm going to cover up this one, because really, that's pretty much it. We can pass the test knowing those buttons. Even this one, you can go away too. And that's powerful stuff. Okay, so let's look at the calculator. Own the calculator. A calculator dying to do a lot of work for you. And to make that point for you, I'm going to draw something real quick. 5 minus -5. 6 minus -4, and 7 minus -3. I'm going to put parentheses around this, and this, and this. We've got to rely on calculators, because when we're tired on question 31 of a 46 question GED test that you only want to take once, and you get to the end of a problem, and that problem leaves you with one last step, 5 minus -5. If we're tired and feeling frazzled, it would be very easy to say that that is 0. And 6 minus -4 would be very easy to say that's 2. And 7 minus -3, it would be very easy to do mental math and say that's 4. But if we type these into a calculator, all of them equal 10. Because minus a negative is the same as plus a positive. And then it's just 5 plus 5, 6 plus 4, and 7 plus 3 is 10. Use this calculator. Double check. 6 times 8. 7 times 8. I was absent that day, because I never quite sure what those are. I know 8 times 8 is 64, and 8 times 5 is 40. But after that, I get a little frazzled about that stuff. So this calculator is super powerful. We're going to use it for the big stuff, and we're also going to use it for plus and minus negative numbers, because this stuff is garbage. That's the negative number. That button right here makes a number negative. This number subtracts. We don't want to confuse those two. But that's it.